to see her. She knew he was not happy about it. He knew it.
Don't dig it up again, dear, please.
Why didn't May go before it happened?
Please.
Why did she scream? Why did she cry?
We can shut it out of this house.
No, this isn't my house. There's no certain place in planet Earth.
I should have burned that place down.
No. Just search the ashes and find her screaming.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Get everybody's mics turned up here.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of the Aftermath podcast. We are Division 3 AM. We are just the three of us right now. Erin is waiting for her son to be picked up, so she will join us here in a moment. I guess I'll tell you now that we had an ass ton of problems before this even started, and we were down to like the last second and nothing was working. So this is our first time doing something like this, and first off, one of the microphones was bad. We had never used this equipment before, so we had to run to the store and buy another microphone. And we get back and we hook everything up, and then none of the audio's playing. Everything's crashing. One of the cameras stopped working, so things are going to be operated a little weird because we had like 4 cameras and we're down to 2. So, yeah, there's that.
Oh,
You got to talk into your mic.
I know. I was worried. No one about fell out the door. Sorry.
Oh.
She'll be here momentarily, guys.
Yeah, we're waiting
Do
on
not
Erin,
worry. Do
and
not
we're
worry.
going to do our intros. We got a few things to talk about, a lot of stuff to get into.
A lot
Does
of
everything
upcoming
sound good?
stuff.
Everything sound okay to you guys?
I really hope it does. You could thank
Trying to-
Gary for all of this setup. Took his time. Racked his brain for about a week.
Yeah, I'm extremely tired right now. I've barely slept. I've had a lot of work to do, and the show, and actually having to go to work in between. So I set up an office in my bed, and I just worked from bed for a whole week. I never got out of bed all week until I had to go to work.
That don't sound amazing.
It's not. I felt like a slob.
If that don't sound amazing.
So if you guys don't know, the show's not going to be for kids. And if you are a kid that is watching this show right now, and your parents don't know, don't tell them. Hide it. We are not going
Hide
to
it
filter
under your
ourselves.
mattress, like
we
nobody's
are
gonna find it.
we are all foul-mouthed people, and there's no way we're going to be able to do this show without cussing and saying things that will probably lose us some followers.
But that's okay. Have a backbone. Come on, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna drink beer and talk about ghosts.
This episode is brought to you by
I don't even know. Beer Wolf.
Dunkel
Beer
West.
Wolf. We're drinking Beer Wolf today.
And if you have not had it, you should try it.
From Great Lakes Brewing. It's pretty delicious.
Oh yeah, well, spirits do manipulate electrical equipment, so let me give an example of that. While the microphone was screwing up. I could not find out what was wrong, and I was just getting nothing but static. And I actually heard a little girl talking through the static. I thought I was hearing stuff, so I just sat there and listened for a minute. I actually heard a little girl talking through. The place we are right now is actually haunted, and I've experienced stuff. I stayed here for an entire week when I was out of work with a fractured ankle, and I saw. Oh, look, Erin's here.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, there she is.
Here's everybody.
I saw something peeking around the corner, looking at me while I was sitting on the couch. The sink in the bathroom turned itself on one night, and the light turned itself on.
And I do have film of that, and
Yeah, she recorded it.
yeah,
What was that?
no idea what that was.
All right.
All
What the
right.
hell was it? Was that outside?
With the scary sound effects.
I didn't put no scary sound effects.
And previously to that, while Gary was staying at my house, we actually did a Ouija board session in my living room, and we actually picked up a bunch of stuff on that. There was a little live audio or a live Facebook feed on the Boo Crew page, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't on the actual other one. Yeah, so I don't know if any of you are friends with that one, but the fate of that one has to be yet determined. So we'll keep you posted on that one. But
Hi, does everybody want to introduce each other?
so what was that?
We will. We're gonna go start off with that. I'm Zach Bagans, and I didn't believe in bottled beer until I came face to face with one. Over here, we have Eerie Aaron.
Hi, guys. So I'm Erin. I originally am from New York and in Toledo, Ohio now. I'm a registered nurse by trade. So actually I do deal a lot with death, near-life experiences. So that definitely has drawn me closer to
Near life.
near-death experiences. Or near life, depending on who your nurse
Gary,
is.
just so
I feel like I'm really close to being alive.
So, just that experience working as a nurse for a long time, being around close calls, seeing people die, and then experiences as childhood, definitely something that I've always been drawn to. So it's exciting to actually be involved in a group that we can explore further. Looking forward to some private investigations, and we have some exciting news coming up for you guys.
Hello from Wheeling, West Virginia. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us.
West Virginia.
I love West Virginia. Actually, I went there a few years ago. I went to the Mothman Festival in Point Pleasant. And come this year to find out that my family's actually buried out there. One of the main guys who had his sons killed by the Indians. So, Ancestry.com. It's awesome. Alright, so she's doing her thing. We got... Turn that down.
I don't know what I'm doing. Okay.
I don't want to hear myself.
This is my first
Bear with
time.
us, guys.
Be
It's our
gentle.
first podcast,
So we got Spooky Sammy over here giving us some
Hi.
feedback.
Feels like it's really close to my face.
It is.
I'm giving feedback. Okay. Yeah. Hi, I'm Sam. I haven't had as much, experience with death as Aaron has, but I've always been very connected to it. Ever since I was a little kid, I could always pick up on different things that other people couldn't. So I just decided I wanted to proceed with that and go further and see if I could find myself a fantastic group of people, which I have, to join me on my adventures and see what we can find. Give some people some answers, guys.
That was Sammy. Just if people don't know, me, Sam, and Aaron are the Boo Crew, and we made Division 3 AM just so Jeff could be a part of the team.
We love you, Jeff. He's a good guy.
Team got created
He's a
before
good
we
guy.
got on.
He's a great guy. He's a great
We're
guy.
like, you know what? You're pretty cool. We need to create a team for you.
Well, we got
What the, what the hell is that?
I'm Scary Gary, and I've been doing this for almost 20 years now. I started back in my 20s on Phase 3 Paranormal. And I left, I think, about a year and a half to 2 years after that. I joined Ohio Ghost Hunters for a little bit. I actually got fired from Ohio Ghost Hunters because they said I was faking evidence. So that was something. I started my own team. I ran that for a while. That was Sector 7 Paranormal. And then I just got extremely tired. It's a lot of work running a team and having to do everything yourself. So that's why I'm glad I got these guys now, because I don't have to do everything myself except for the podcast and not sleep for a week. But that's because only I knew how to do it. And over here, we got Jeff.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
My name is Jeff.
That's great.
Obviously, like Gary said, they pretty much put together in Division 3 AM for me to help. Let's join in and help out. I'm born in Toledo, Ohio. I've lived here most of my life. I lived in Fostoria for a while. I'm the one who, honestly, I have no experiences of my own other than what we've caught and the evidence that we've gotten from hunts we've done. Nothing affects me. I never have any attachments. I never have any feelings when we go places. I'm the one that's apparently completely closed off to everything. So I'm also the one that approaches everything extremely logical and tries to debunk everything because I don't get the feelings that these guys do. But I'm excited to be part of the team, and I've always been fascinated by the paranormal, and I'm looking forward to what this team's going to do.
And I need to point out that we all have these rhyming names, but Jeff doesn't have one. So I made these stickers and we put them on all our equipment, and Jeff doesn't have a sticker. I also forgot to invite Jeff to like every administration thing for our pages this week.
Every single one.
Every single one. It feels like I'm leaving Jeff out. So like I can't think of any spooky name that rhymes with Jeff. I looked them up. I can't find anything. The scariest thing I could find is UNICEF Jeff, and I don't think that's gonna work. So we're gonna leave that up to the people out there. Come up with a name for Jeff, so we can make him some stickers and stuff. What's Jeff gonna be? Like, I'm Scary Gary, it rhymes. Eerie Aaron, and Spooky Sammy. What's Jeff gonna be? We don't know. We're gonna leave that up to everybody out there.
Ooh, make it good,
guys.
Come on.
I feel indifferent about being Scary Gary because it sounds like some sort of thing where I'm gonna get kids coming to my van for candy.
I thought that too, but that's not what's the case is. I hope.
And you guys have your names with it matches your first initial of your name. Mine doesn't. I could have been Ghoulish Gary or Ghastly Gary or Ghostly Gary. Ghetto Gary. That is probably the scariest one.
That probably is. Don't think I want to be a part of that one.
Oh, if you haven't known, we are Division 3 AM. We just started this team up. But we have been doing this stuff for quite some time. We've been going to paranormal places left and right, doing a lot of haunting stuff. Usually it's places we're not even supposed to be. But we decided to change that, and now we have some official places coming up that we are legally allowed to go to. We're not sneaking in this time. And those places are going to be among the announcements that we are putting out today. I don't think we're going to announce those yet, though. No, we're gonna wait a little bit. What we will announce, though, keep you dangling. Dangle. One of the other things we have been working on for a while, and I've been working on for a while, is finally together. And it wasn't just me, I got photos from these guys, and we got our audio EVP files, but we have a website, and it's freaking awesome. So you can go to division3am.com if you're interested in looking at our case files. Like, we have EVPs on there. We don't have any videos right yet. I do have some videos to put on there. We just haven't got to those yet. We have photos from places we've been. You'll be able to see our schedules of everything coming up. We have tons of stuff on there. Like, all our live streams are going to be on there. Our podcasts are going to be on there. And you can go check all that out. We're going to have we have a bunch of social media pages right now. I don't have graphics made for that because I fell asleep working on this last night, and I forgot to do those. So you can go to Instagram/Division3am.
Our Instagram was brought to you by Erin.
Erin is the one running our
behind
Instagram.
So
Yeah,
if you
she's
see
behind
us on
Instagram.
I'm the one you'll see.
You already know our Facebook.
Yeah.
Sam's pretty much the one running that. We all have a hand in it, but we just kind of let Sam go at it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just easier.
We do have
You're doing the website, so we might as well split it up that way a little
yeah,
bit, you know.
and we do have a YouTube. So it's youtube.com/ you guessed it, Division3am.
Who'd have thunk it?
I didn't even know how we got that name.
Shocker!
But we don't have anything on YouTube yet. We're going to soon. You'll find replays of these videos on there. We'll post those up on there. We got some ideas for some shows. Like I'm thinking of getting together and we just load up some YouTube ghost videos and we review them and talk shit about them because they're mostly all fake.
Yeah.
And that's sad to say because we're going to be putting some on YouTube and everyone's going to be like, fake.
But we'll do our best to make you guys know that it's not. So we'll do the research behind it and we'll go through everything. So we'll make sure we don't post any fake shit.
Yeah, we don't
like fake news.
We don't like fake shit.
Hey, we got Jive and Jeff. You like
Jive and Jeff.
Jive and Jeff.
That kind of makes him sound like he grinds on things during investigations.
that? Who do you like, a
That could be
Jive?
my thing.
Like that.
Are you a
Jive turkey.
Every
You jive
You already have a thing.
Let me tell you about what his thing is.
Here we go.
This might help you guys decide a name for him.
He has a tendency, like, I'm pretty sure he's not narcoleptic. Pretty sure, right? You're not? Okay.
If I am, I'm
Symptoms?
not diagnosed.
I mean,
If I have to pull the health card out, symptoms point to yes.
yeah. Because we'll be going places and we'll look in the back seat and he's like in the back seat and all of a sudden he's just out. Or like we'll be having movie night and he's just sleeping. Like just out.
Hey, to be fair,
And-
Aaron and I both fell asleep together once.
Once.
That sounds
During-
horrible.
to be fair, I fell asleep in the same room as
That's
Jeff
not- yeah.
once too.
Yeah.
And then I was scared to wake him up, so I sat awake for like 2 hours in complete silence and darkness.
But this has given him the name on the inside of our Division 3am group. We call him the Sleeping Prophet.
He's the
Because
sleeping prophet.
he will sleep and all of a sudden he will wake up and give you a little bit of information and he will go right back to sleep.
We imagine that.
He's our historian, but it's
Yeah.
kind of like a Game of Thrones. He's kind of like the third eye.
Yeah, he's gonna be reading off some history and take a nap in between, and then
He's
if we're
gonna-
investigating, we're gonna be like, "What year was this built?" And he's just gonna wake up and be like, oh, 1903.
Like, Jeff, we need to get in this building, transform into a raven. Let's do this.
Transform into a raven. Raven Jeff. That's a good one too.
Oh.
Raven Jeff. It doesn't rhyme
It
though.
kind of makes him sound like he's like a lunatic.
Jack-o'-lantern
No, Jeff
Jeff.
isn't easy.
That
that's
makes him
true.
sound like he jacks
The
off in
hard
public
one.
places.
Oh, I don't know if we said that.
We can't go there. Jack-o'-lantern Jeff will get us. Yeah. Soink's like, hey, Scoob, Jack-o'-lantern Jeff's right there behind the tree, man. Whoa, no.
That 100% is a Scooby-Doo villain right there.
Totally is.
Alright, so make sure you guys check out our website right there below. And follow us on Facebook, give us a thumbs up, follow us. We got a lot of stuff coming up. Instagram at Division3am. We will also have a YouTube channel coming. Gary, I don't know if you want to do a little insight on the YouTube channel.
We already did.
Oh, I missed that. Little
She
behind.
doesn't even know what's going on, and she's sitting right here.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a little late
She's
to the game, though.
preoccupied. It's okay.
It's
get
cool.
it.
We got it.
So, if you do go to our website, I know we've gotten a few messages from a few people about coming to investigate your place. If you're interested, there is a section on the website where you can go and you can fill out a little form and it sends it right to our email, so we'll be able to get it and review it and get back to you so we can set something up.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, see if we can like do something, you know.
Jackal Jeff.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
I like that too.
I mean,
I
okay.
like that too.
No, okay. Jackal Jeff.
Jackal Jeff.
Jackal.
That sounds real mean.
That does. It kind of sounds like.
Kind of like a Snorlax.
But you know,
Jackal doesn't fit.
I have
Put
to
that
get.
into the possibility.
I have to give credit, you know, where credit is due. Like Jackal Jeff, he is a ginger jack-o'-lantern. You know, like
Jackal Ginger.
I don't know if
Jeff.
that's what you were thinking
Ginger
of,
Jackal
but
Jeff.
Jammin' Jeff? We got
Jammin'
Jeff
Jeff.
here?
Jamming.
Jeff.
I mean, he is jamming when he's not sleeping.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's jamming them snore sounds right into our
I see him play air
eardrums.
guitar in his sleep sometimes.
I've seen some snore blast beats. Definitely. Love it.
Snore blast.
All right, so we're gonna write down some of these possibilities.
Yeah, we're gonna
Our
write
next
down these
aftermath,
names.
We're gonna let you know what we
Uh,
decided.
we're gonna draw from a hat.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're gonna draw
Jeff's
from a
fate?
hat. Not my hat.
Not your hat?
Not my hat. We're gonna draw from a hat though.
They said his name is difficult. He
His
is
name is
difficult.
difficult. That's
Keeping
why.
him awake
That's
is
why I couldn't
difficult.
come up with anything for him.
To be fair on the sleep
To
thing,
be
I was on
fair.
third shift.
I'm
It was
third
hard,
shift now
okay?
too, and I actually haven't slept for 3 hours because I was working on this, and I'm dying right now. I'm also getting sick, so yeah. No excuses, Jeff. There are no excuses.
Come talk to me in 8 months, Gary.
Oh.
Why are you pregnant?
You ready to be a daddy again?
Oh.
Dad again.
I'm just gonna
Sounds like a
mind
bad
my own
pill.
business.
Try dad again. All right, so
That was a horn
Nolan's
honking in the
daddy is
background.
here to pick him up.
Yeah, Nolan's leaving.
We're gonna get into talking about our experience recently.
Oh, the con-
Oh yeah, it's. Uh-oh, we got a frozen camera.
oh,
We got a frozen camera.
oh no.
Oh no,
What do we do?
we die.
Oh,
Here, we're gonna.
We all die.
I'm not Spooky Sammy. We just have to fix this real quick.
let me just. Hey, let me look at his face.
There she is.
There she is.
Spooky.
Let me just fix those.
Is that camera still frozen? We're gonna find out. It's still frozen.
It's still frozen.
I don't know what happened, so I guess we're not using that camera. We are now down to one camera.
It's just
And
me
they're just
for the-
laughing at
for
us.
the rest of the-
We're just laughing. So, okay. Shit. We're down to one camera. We came with 5 cameras.
Did it die?
We're down to one.
Okay, you guys just talk.
We're gonna talk. Did it die?
It died.
It did die? Oh, okay. So we're gonna get that camera back. In my camera bag, there are 2 more batteries in the side pocket.
In the side pocket?
Yeah.
Here?
Side left pocket.
Oh,
Yeah, she threw everything else on the floor.
this right here?
Yep, that's one of them. What's on the floor?
It's a lens. It's a lens. I'm sorry, it's a lens.
Sorry, guys. All the technical difficulties apparently decided to bleed out into the live show. We're getting it. We're getting it. We're fixing it right now. And then we're going to talk about, if you've seen on our page, I keep looking at that camera now. I need to look at this camera. There we go. You gotta take the camera off the stand. There's a little switch in the back. I'm sorry, I'm giving technical advice right now, and we're live. This is not planned.
It's not, but
Turn that to the side, and then there's the battery compartment.
We're gonna give you the real ghost
Pop
footage
that out.
is not fake, just like this technical difficulty is not fake.
So-
We're all real, man.
So once this camera's fixed, we're gonna get into talking about an experience the 3 of us, me, Sam, and Aaron, had recently that involved a nun. And yes, you did see us post about that. I think our camera might be back. Is it?
if Sam can get it fucking back on the thing.
If she can get it back on the thing.
Do stuff.
Oh, it's back.
It's
Look
back,
at that.
but is it back, Gary? Is it really back?
It's just
Juicy
it's not
Jeff.
part of this.
Juicy Jeff.
Oh yeah.
Jeff. Okay.
I like it.
I mean, I am kind
We'll
of
put that down too. Put that down. Put
we're
that
writing
down.
that
We're
down.
gonna do that one. We're gonna write that. We're gonna draw
Sarah
that
is
in.
bound and determined to nail this.
Yeah, she's like, she wants to nail Jeff.
I mean,
Also on our website, if you're interested in that, there is a section where you can. No, I'm just kidding.
You
I
can
mean,
rent
just-
Jeff for one night.
he might
will.
sleep through the whole thing.
I mean,
He probably
he
will.
might sleep through the whole thing, but I mean,
He's juicy.
you might have a little bit of fun. I don't know.
All right, so do we want to talk about the nun?
Let's do it.
That's a hard no.
Sam doesn't want to talk about a nun. Let's preface this real quick. Is there somebody outside talking?
That's what it sounded like.
Be quiet.
Okay, so I am not a big fan of nuns.
Javelin Jeff.
Deathy Jeffy.
Deathy Jeffy.
What?
Deathy
I
Jeffy.
mean, yeah, it doesn't have to start with a J.
Jeffy. Josh, you are. You're on it. It doesn't have to start with one. Javelin Jeff. Javelin Jeff.
Alright, so let's talk about Collingwood Arts Center.
What was that?
I have no idea. Is everybody's phone down? Like, is the volume on everybody's live feed down?
Mine's down.
Mine's down.
That's not even all.
Maybe we're just getting some interference here.
Yeah, we're getting other voices. I don't know if you guys are hearing that too, but I think somebody's here with us in spirit.
Maybe
Oh
somebody
god, it's gotta be a
from the
ghost.
spirit world is trying to name
Calm
you
down.
Jeff.
Oh my God,
Maybe,
did you hear that? The floor creaked.
maybe
I'm
that
possessed.
voice
I'm possessed.
is that 200-year-old man trying to tell me he's still in torment. It's gotta be.
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be. Oh shit. Got peed a little bit. But back to the nun. Let's just talk about
Well,
that.
Sam,
We're just gonna jump right into
she's
this
afraid of
because
nuns. She's horrified,
I can't.
petrified.
There's something about them that I just don't. It makes me uneasy. It just makes me. I shouldn't be putting this on the internet because like people might use it against me. Be nice, guys.
Send all your nun photos care of Division 3AM too.
You know what, Gary?
There's also the possibility, Jeff, you could just change your name.
There it is. I could just change my name.
Dang, Jeff, just change your names.
You're just too difficult.
Dang.
So Sam doesn't like nuns. She definitely just doesn't like them.
I just don't. They freak me out. I just can't. So, what better place to do a photo shoot than
The Collingwood Arts Center.
Center.
The most haunted place in Toledo, Ohio.
every single time I go to that place, it just feels bad. Like there's something there.
It's definitely an evil place. Let's give a little back history. Collingwood Arts Center historian.
Historian? Oh, hold on a
Oh,
sec.
the historian, you know.
Jeff's got some history.
No.
Grab yourself a pillow and a nice warm drink. It's time to get cozy and listen up. It's history time with Jeff.
Never mind. Apparently, Jeff did not do Collingwood history. A lot of things weren't done. A lot of things.
It's our first podcast, guys. Just
Anyway,
bear with us.
so Collingwood Arts Center was built in like the 1800s, located right off on Collingwood Ave. It was a college at one point, and it also was, I guess, for children at some point.
Did you hear that?
I did.
So I forget the name. What is the name of like where children?
Orphanage.
Orphanage. Okay.
Yeah.
So nuns ran an orphanage there, and at one point there was a sister there for whatever reason. Her name was Angelique, which ironically is my sister's middle name, which I found that to be very strange when we found that out afterwards, because it's a very unusual name. But Sister Angelique hung herself in the basement. So, I mean, if you're going to find evil, it's definitely going to be in a place where a nun did an act that was such against her faith. You know, what drove her to something like that? So, yeah, we were definitely plagued after visiting that location. And then it doesn't help that Sam doesn't like nuns because the place is filled with them.
A little more background on the hauntings there. There were a lot of performing arts done there. There is a stage and an auditorium. My own brother actually worked on a few productions there, and he used to tell me about the strange things that would happen in the basement. There are rooms that they don't really go in. It's used for storage, so there's not even space to go in there, so they're kept locked. And the lights would come on in that room, and you'd see like a shadow walking under the little gap under the door. And there would be nobody in there. Personally, I was snuck into this building because what most people don't know is for quite some time, they did not allow any sort of talk about paranormal activity in that building. The director of the building did not want people to connect that building with ghosts and hauntings. He only wanted it to be about the art. So he wouldn't let anybody in there that had anything to do with paranormal investigations. So the guy who did our photography, he actually snuck me in back then when that guy was the director. And we went in the basement, and there was a room that's apparently normally always padlocked shut. But for some reason that night, it wasn't padlocked. And everyone was kind of surprised about it. They're like, holy crap, this is never unlocked. So I went in there, we did some investigating, and all of a sudden I couldn't breathe. It felt like someone had their hands around my throat. So I had to leave that room. Later, I reviewed my audio, and I have a recording of a man screaming murderer at me repeatedly. I don't have those audio files anymore. They were on a laptop that got stolen when my house got broken into some years ago. But that was my first experience in that building, and it wasn't a good one. A little backstory on the orphanage side of it. I've heard this story about another location. I don't remember what the location was, but supposedly there was a orphan who got lost in the building, and they could not find this kid. And a few months later, they went into a room that was normally locked and no one ever goes in it. And they found the kid trapped behind a dresser that was wedged against the wall, and they had died there. This was right under a window, supposedly, and the sun had beamed down on this kid for months as they decomposed. And it left a stain in the floor of the outline of the kid's body, which is still there to this day, and they can't get it up. And they've tried everything. It just keeps coming back. And
what floor is this on? Is it in the basement?
I don't know what floor it's on. I don't even know what side was the orphanage. I know the orphanage area is an area they don't normally let people go into.
But it's on the side of the Collingwood, right?
Yeah, it's in Collingwood.
Okay. Something to look into.
But yeah, we haven't experienced that room yet.
For me to do.
Look at you.
Some more research for historian Jeff.
I mean, we even had like a little setup for you.
Yeah, when we boosted it up, I was
Yeah,
all
but-
ready.
We'll
And
use
nobody
it. We got some
communicated
time.
to me that I was supposed to do research for Collingwood. so-
Even though I said it like 3 times.
Well,
These guys, like, they just
next one
they,
will be better. I
they just
promise.
ignore everything I
No.
say. They're like, Gary messaged us.
Hey, for
Oh,
one of
Sam
the other
messaged. I'm
ones
gonna
we
read
got,
Sam.
I
Sam.
We
have
see your
some
message
history,
and we just
okay?
ghost you.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the
see,
main
I'm
here.
just getting
thing,
ghosted.
right? We're getting ghosted. Getting ghosted like out.
So our experience this time around.
Oh yes.
All right, so
I didn't really. I felt things when I was there, but didn't really see much. It was more like when I got home. Like I thought I was cool. Like it's good, but we had to go to Calvary Cemetery. But I think that's got a lot to do with. Why you gotta put the camera on me? I don't like it. But
because you're talking.
it was more when I got home. I didn't really feel anything. It was just like a series of like weird things that happen that I wouldn't normally do. And keep your mouth shut, guys. I left my ATM card in the ATM, and I don't usually just leave it in places.
It ate the money.
It ate it. It did. And then, well, I'll just.
That's what ATM
I'm
stands
trying
for.
to procrastinate telling the damn story. I don't want to. Okay, so when I got home, just kind of hanging out. Jeff had gone to work.
She's getting goosebumps over there.
Yeah, I don't like it. And I thought everything was good. Like, I normally see things when I'm at home by myself. I I tend to bring things home with me unintentionally, even if I ask them the nicest possible that I can for them to stay where they are. But they seem to want to take me and just follow me home, and I'm somewhere they want to be. So I thought it was good, and I came home and I was hanging out on the couch, you know, watching Letterkenny. Watch it, it's a great show.
A super soft episode.
Super soft birthday parties. But, so I decided I wanted to, like, you know, get some ice cream, so I get up and I go in the kitchen.
Super soft ice cream.
It was super soft rainbow ice cream. It was. Don't be jelly.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, okay. This one? This one? This one? Oh.
Oh, shit.
Too long. But I go and I let the dog out. And I don't know, you guys don't know this. My dog is black and white. So he's outside and he's running around the backyard. And I'm washing out a bowl so I can eat my ice cream. Super soft ice cream. And I look up and I see something black and white. So I just, you know, I kind of chalk it up to it being my dog out in the backyard, just running around, doing what he does. So when I look down and I finish cleaning my bowl, I look up. And whatever is black and white starts to move behind me. It goes behind me and it blocks. And when it gets to me, it kind of blocks itself out and keeps going. I promptly pissed myself because in the back of my mind, I knew exactly what I had seen. It was probably a nun. And she had gone down into the basement. So I ran and I got my dog. I ran upstairs. And I got in my bed, and I'm not going to tell you that I cried like a little baby, but maybe I did. So that prompted me to sage my entire house. And you can ask these guys, I, for some reason, am so anti-sage, like, I just don't think it works. But that bitch had to get evicted. She had to leave. It was done. And ever since then, when I saged, like, I started in the basement, worked my way up, did it the way I was supposed to. She hasn't been back, thank God. Ironic. And, I still have had, like, other encounters, like, not everything left when I saged, but she's no longer here. And I'm so happy. So, when I go back to Collingwood, because I'm sure we will, because that's what we do, I will have to weapon up. Get something to, you know, get them evil beebles off me.
Get our St. Michael pendants.
Get our St. Michael pendants.
Mine came today, so I have mine now.
Oh.
I do.
I don't have mine.
I'll be protected.
Alright.
I'll
protect you, Sam.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Until she gets ocular penetrated.
That's another thing we gotta talk about.
Yeah,
Let's not.
Oh,
There's
come
no
on.
proof of that.
Yeah, there's a little proof of that. I mean, your eye looked pretty fucked. That's not what I meant. Yeah, that was a double. That was a double entendre.
Alright. And that's
So-
my story.
All right. We're gonna just spin this camera around because we're down to 2. All right.
All right.
And there you go.
So after Collingwood for me, I definitely had I was drained, completely fatigued. The night afterwards, horrible nightmares, one involving a nun, one involving my entire family where my car drove off a cliff and the baby car seat just drifted away into the ocean abyss and I couldn't catch it, and just horrible. And for days and days after that, something in my mind wanted me to go back there, but it was a bad feeling, and migraines, just completely tired and worn out. And the very first thing I said when pulling into Collingwood, as I have many times before, I said, yeah, this place is definitely evil. And what do you know? You know, we're plagued with nightmares and fatigue and just overall not feeling very well. But, you know, yet we're going to go back. So, you know, I guess that's just kind of what we do as paranormal researchers. We look to find what is unknown, and then when we find it, we're not always sure what to do with it. So Gary?
Hmm?
We would say Jeff, but he doesn't have any experiences with it.
Jeff wasn't able to join us that time.
Who's that?
Yeah, you will notice an absence of Jeff from the website in many places except the bios because we still have to do Jeff's photos. He wasn't there for the photo shoot, so we're gonna green screen him into everything.
I had to work.
Yeah, he had to work, and we got worked. So, what happened to me was probably one of the more frightening things I've ever experienced. I don't really get scared of anything paranormal related anymore, but this was more like an actual attack. So, a few things did happen while we were there. First off, as we're walking through the halls when we first got there, the balcony doors into the theater, they were all open. And we were the only ones in the building. It was me, Aaron, Sam, and our photographer. And we were all together the whole time. Could you grab mine? Could you grab my beer?
Oh, Chris.
When you come back?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Spooky Dookie.
No, this is not turned
Sensuous?
This is not turned into some kind of like weird grab.
Well, we will be doing protection after this experience.
Erin's got her hands full.
For the first time ever, we've all agreed we're going to do protections for every place we go now, because this stuff was just ridiculous. I looked in the mirror this morning and was scared as fuck. You just seen yourself? That's weird. Oh, well, my brother. Anyway, so we go and do a few photos in this room, in this area called the Gerber House. And after we leave, we're walking to the next location, and all the doors to the balcony now are closed. And there's like 5 or 6 doors out there. Somehow they were all closed, but we were the only ones in the building. We didn't say anything about it at the time, but we all thought it was weird. I did point out as we walked by when they were open, I said, this is the spot that people see the nun sitting up in the balcony watching people perform on stage. So in my mind, she heard us and shut the doors so we couldn't look in there anymore. I don't know if that's what happened. I don't know if somebody else just happened to come in the building and close the doors. We can't go back and prove that. We can't go back and figure that out. I have no clue. The second strange thing that happened while we were there, my beer just ghostly apparated it right here. We were riding this elevator, and these elevators are old as hell. They're really small. Like we're like arm in arm in there, just 4 of us. And the first time we took the elevator, it was fine. The second time we took the elevator, us 3, we all got off. And then suddenly the doors tried to close on the photographer, and it started moving and made him fall into the wall. And I believe after listening to our audio, I have him saying, well, maybe it's some of that ghost shit. And he did seem kind of shaken up to the point like he just kind of ignored it, didn't really want to talk about it. He got really quiet. He's said that's never happened too, and he's been in the building for like 20 years. It just happened so fast. I don't know if it's paranormal related or anything like that. It just really seemed weird. The experience that happened that came after that, though, was after we left. I was driving home. I am a sensitive empath. I just had this feeling that there was a nun in the backseat of my car riding home with me. I ignore a lot of that stuff. So I did not look in my backseat. I wasn't going to look. I didn't look in my rearview mirror the whole way home. I just figured, it's my imagination. I was the only one who actually took some protection with me into the building. I carried, and many people don't believe in them, but I carried a crystal with me. And I had probably less effects of what did happen, but once I got home and took that crystal out of my pocket and put it on my dresser, I was suddenly just drained. I had no energy. I would even consider that I blacked out because how absolutely drained I was. The best way I can describe how it felt, it was like I was drugged. I had horrible nightmares, strange, weird things happening, and in the background of every segment of these nightmares, there was this nun. And she's standing there just watching me. And I would wake up several times throughout this. And I would have this overwhelming feeling that I was late to something, that I had to be somewhere. But when I woke up, I felt drugged. Like I had no energy to actually get up, stay awake, or move. I could barely keep my eyes open. And I would immediately just drop right back into sleep. And this happened 3 or 4 times. But it was the final time that was probably the most scary of all. I tried to force myself to get up, even though I had no strength to do so. I was able to lean over to the side slightly and lift my head. I could kind of open my eyes. I know for a fact I was awake. And there was a nun sitting on my couch right next to me. I can hear your dog drinking.
I know, sorry, he's thirsty boy. Sorry, he's
If you can hear that, that's a dog drinking. But
that's a ghost dog.
I seen this nun sitting on the couch next to me. And she wasn't looking at me. She had her hands on her lap and she was just staring straight ahead at the wall. And I immediately, like after seeing it, fell right back into sleep. Now the next time I woke up, I was fine. I had all my energy back. I was wide awake. And then I was terrified because I just had this feeling the whole time. Like I know I seen her sitting there. I still feel like she's sitting there. I could not shake the feeling of what I saw. And it was after that that I talked to Aaron and Sam, which actually before I even told the story of what happened, Aaron asked me and Sam if either one of us had had nightmares. And that's when she told us about her nightmare about the nun. And I was like, you know what, me too. And a little bit later when Sam got up, she told us she was experiencing stuff as well. But Sam did something else. So I think that's why the nun came after her too. Sam did something different.
We're not going to go into that, though.
We're not gonna go into that.
Yeah, we're not going to go in that. It's illegal.
I may have just,
Upset a nun.
upset a nun.
Yeah.
Unintentionally upset a nun.
So
Speaking of the dog, though.
Yeah, speaking of my dog, you gotta. Hi. So, we have one more investigator that I plan on trying to incorporate into some of the investigations that we're going to be doing, but not all of them, because he doesn't really have very good of a knee, so he's not going to probably be going with us on, like, big places where we have to go upstairs. But I think it would be interesting to add a canine aspect to our team. You guys agree?
Yep. Yeah.
Wolf.
Woof woof.
All
And, what happened? Okay.
Nothing, we're good.
And I plan on maybe getting him like a GoPro camera to go on his back. His name is Rasputin, and he is 8 years old, and he is my puppy. And if he wasn't laying on the floor right now, I would show him to you. Hey, puppy, Rasputin.
We may be able to do that, actually.
Rasputin.
There
There he
he is.
is.
There's Rasputin.
There he is.
He's
Hi,
just
good boy.
energizing for our next case.
Yeah.
He's all
So
like, I'm just building
that's
up the
going to be
energy.
happening.
I think
and
that's great, though. I think animals definitely have another... Hi, guys. I think animals have a key aspect of finding these spirits and things like that. I'm horrible on air, but I think that'll be great.
We'll get better. We'll get better.
We'll get better. The show's going to get better and better. All the
Yes.
damn errors and problems we had leading up to this, I'm gonna iron them out with my fist.
But I think all of us have
Yeah.
had experiences with pets that have seen spirits or something that you didn't see. I mean, I think a lot of us have. If you have, comment below. What was your experience?
Yeah, let us know.
I know, for example, my mom, she lives in a 200-year-old Victorian home, and her pets are constantly circling things, barking at the ceiling, and they're not just crazy. I mean, they're crazy mutts, but I definitely think that they can see things that we don't. So I think having a canine to our team kind of separates us from other teams. I haven't seen that before, so I think it'll be exciting.
Until you know who that one team steals our idea.
Just take it back.
Go ahead and get a canine. You won't have this one.
Yeah, you won't have this one.
You won't have this one.
We got a team out there copying us.
Mine-
We're just starting.
Mine's broken. My dog's
You know, copycatting is the best form.
Oh,
I mean,
fattery.
It is.
Oh, it's
it
flattery.
really is. It is. So, another, when we went to
I'm gonna go
the...
fix the camera.
You're gonna go do that. So another thing that we all had, another look into like the animals and how sensitive they are. We actually went about, how long ago was it, guys? Like when we went to Mansfield?
Oh, that probably would have been a year ago.
Yeah. Okay. So about a year ago we went to Mansfield and we just impromptu stayed at a
Charles Mill Lake.
campsite.
On Friday the 13th.
On Friday the 13th.
What best
because-
day to go camping?
I know, right? Look. Gotta love it. You can't see it. It's Jason. No, it's bad. But
They will when the camera's fixed.
yeah, when the camera's fixed. So we had a little bit of weird experiences there. There was this cat that came up out of nowhere and followed us around and just back and forth from the... Gary, cut it out. He wants to get by you.
Are you twerking, Gary?
No, he was just doing weird things. So,
Doing the
Yeah.
weird stuff.
the cat followed mostly me and Aaron because the only reason I say that is because when Aaron had left something at the beach part where we had just went, it was about like what, half a mile walk. This
Yeah.
cat followed us from our campsite all the way to the to get what she left behind, waited for us and followed us all the way back, like without missing a beat. So we all went to bed and the cat decided it wanted to try to like fuck with our tent. So it was trying to like get in. It kept stepping on Aaron's face and
I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere. You're sleeping against a tent wall, and all of a sudden you feel like a paw through the tent. That doesn't
It's
freak
a
you
little-
out at all.
It's a little creepy.
Is it a bear?
I was asleep the whole time.
So me and Jeff got up and we followed this cat. We followed
It's
this
like
cat.
5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, like 5 o'clock in the morning. We followed it to a fence, and the fence didn't lead anywhere. But the cat just stopped and it sat down, and I'm like, "Okay, kitty, like, what do you want?" Nothing. Like, and then we walked back to the thing, to the tent. Didn't follow us or anything. So what's weird about that and why I say that's like a spiritual kind of thing is because later on, maybe like a week later, Erin messages the group and she's talking about how she just watched this Dateline and how this guy had murdered his wife and that's where he took her. And they actually camped out there and they actually found her body in her nightgown, like battered, like on one of the trails. And I just, like, thinking back on how that cat reacted to us being there and what it did and how it made it follow us and we followed it and it was just so weird. Like, maybe that cat was trying to show us something or at least lead us to where, stuff happened.
So we got a couple more names for Jeff. Those of you who just tuned in, we're trying to find a name for Jeff here. The rest of the crew has
We need to have a deadline.
some silly names.
Let's
so
have a deadline for naming Jeff.
What would be the deadline?
We'll give it 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah,
So
2
people
weeks.
people who watch this on a restream you have a chance to name Jeff.
Just comment below. So we got, so far we got Jammin' Jeff, Jackal Jeff, Juicy Jeff,
I like that one.
Deathy
Who
Jeffy,
likes that one?
Jaunting Jeff, Jarring Jeff. Go ahead and comment below. We're gonna name Jeff. Well, you're gonna name Jeff.
You're gonna name Jeff.
Yeah, you're gonna name him.
Yeah. So do you want to talk at all about experiences you've had that you don't really?
Have.
That you
Because I don't really
have.
have any of my own. To be honest, I in terms of actual experiences myself, I have none. I honestly don't think I'm open to it. I could tell you a million stories that have happened to other people.
Well, I just
And-
want to point out a comment from a Robin Music. Maybe you know
Hi,
this
Mom.
lovely lady. Hi. She says, yes, you do at her house.
Yeah, but I think what she's referring to is some of the stuff that we've talked about and some of the experiences that you've had that I was there for, but it wasn't my experience. I didn't see it, I didn't witness it, I didn't experience it. The only time I've ever had any kind of feeling at all is when we were at Bobby Mackey's. And
Oh, yeah.
the only time I've ever had any kind of real experience, it was through other people, it wasn't my own. So
I think we
don't-
got some time to change that this
Yeah.
summer. We got some
Yes.
investigations coming
Yes,
up.
yes, we do. Should we
We're gonna
roll
turn
right
the
into
skeptic
that?
here.
Should we roll right into what we got going on? We let
So,
dangle a little bit more?
Yeah, I guess we will.
All
yeah.
right. So,
Can I have a beer, please?
you just had one.
Yeah, upstairs on the recorder, but
Can
again,
you
that
can
was
you reach that?
not really my
Can you-
experience.
can you reach
I'm
that?
talking actual physical or like experiences that affect
Okay, I'll
me,
drink
not
it then.
just something that we've caught on a recorder. We've caught all kinds of stuff on recorders, and
And Robin, we cannot help that your mom, she likes what she likes. And I'm just going to leave it at that. You know what I'm talking about.
No. Oh. Oh.
we've caught all kinds of stuff at your house on the recorder. But
Yes, yes, we have.
So, our first big announcement.
How should we do this? How should we,
dun, dun,
I think we
dun.
should be a part of this.
Yeah.
Drum roll. Are you guys drum rolling at home?
Oh, you better!
I know you guys are in tune for this here.
We are going to the awesome and notorious.
Haunted Hydro.
Yes, we are. April 4th, we will be there on an overnight investigation.
We have the place all to ourselves.
Oh, yes, this is going to be so much fun. Hopefully, we'll get Jeff his much longed for experiences
Hopefully.
that he needs. It's putting the camera right on him.
I'm gonna put it right on him.
So, what we're going to do now, since we've announced the hydro and you know where we're going to go, we are going to go to our historian, and he is going to talk a little bit more about what he found about the hydro and what we can all look forward to and what we're going to be getting ourselves into.
Grab yourself a pillow and a nice warm drink.
I don't think I like that.
It's time to get cozy and listen up. It's history time with Jeff.
That is fabulous. I love it.
Did you do the vocal to
I
that?
love that.
I did.
Alright, so
That's
a
me.
little history on the hydro. It was built in 1911 as a hydroelectric plant in Fremont. Plagued by some issues, there was the quote-unquote Great Flood of 1913 that caused a lot of havoc down there. A nearby dam called the Ballville Dam actually collapsed partially while it was under construction and caused 3 deaths. That affects the hydro a little bit. Otherwise, the plant was rebuilt. It provided power until 1954, and then it was used as the location was used as a storage facility for a local golf course and a couple other places up until 1989, when Crazy Bob Turner and his wife Beth
Bob.
Crazy Bob!
and decided to open the haunted hydro there. They've been running that for 30 years now. If you're local to the area, you have seen Crazy Bob.
It's also up for sale if you have $400,000.
Mm-hmm.
This
from
is
what I
not a
read,
marketing ad.
Crazy Bob will not sell it to you if he doesn't think you'll keep up the traditions of the park. He wants somebody who's going to run it and own it just like he has. If you are from the area at all, you have seen the ads for Crazy Bob. If you haven't, please go on YouTube and look up Crazy Bob. It's hilarious. He's fantastic.
Crazy Bob also goes to Goth Night with us.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I've seen him at Goth Night.
Huh.
But it's a haunted attraction that has literally been running for 30 years, and they just keep improving on it. They have a real skeleton in one of the coffins there. They think maybe that might be part of what leads to the actual hauntings that happen there. There's a couple of different spirits that are notorious for the hydro that we're hoping to catch. One of them is the girl in white. I think she's approximately 10 years old. She roams the halls in a flowing white dress. They're not sure if maybe she was the daughter of a farmer from previous time, or if she was one of the people that died during the Great Flood time. They're not really sure. The other one that is mentioned quite often is Bert, the makeup artist. Apparently he was a makeup artist there, and when he passed, he stuck around and likes to play pranks on the staff as they're wandering around in between. I haven't found anything to substantiate that yet. I'm going to have to take a trip to Fremont and look through the actual archive records to see if I can't find what his actual name is. But it's just a couple of things that we'll be looking for when we're there. And so just a little bit of history about the hydro and what we're walking into.
All right.
Sounds good.
Good job.
Thanks,
Good
Jeff.
job.
Got some history
Thank you
back
very
there,
much.
guys.
You need to make a sign-off intro that's like almost the same as your sign-in, like when he's done
Oh.
talking.
That was history with Jeff. It's time to wake up.
So now we know Gary did that on his own. 'Cause
I did do that on my own. I do not use a voice changer. I actually am able to talk like that on my own. I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Man.
All right.
Alright, so looking here. We have something else coming up. It's not our own personal event, but we're probably going to attend the Midwest Paracon here in Toledo. They're having that at the Oliver House, which, if anybody knows me, I've done some speaking shows at the Oliver House with Serena LaPointe. I usually do those in September, and we talk about how to research and do historical research on a property. She talks about what it's like to be a medium and how she works. I talk about how to be a paranormal investigator and what all of that entails and how all three of our jobs work together to actually compile a case. So I don't know if we're doing it again this year. Last year we didn't do Oliver House. We instead did an investigation at a VFW, and the speaking part of the show was canceled, so we just did the overnight investigation. And we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, we don't
We
talk
don't want
about
to talk
that.
about that.
Yeah.
Moving
Moving
We caught
on.
some stuff.
We caught some
but
stuff,
we caught
but
some stuff.
I'm not going to speak
A lot
my
of the
mind on that.
a lot of the evidence was contaminated.
Contamination Central.
Contaminated.
And the one that wasn't contaminated quickly got contaminated. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Oh, we were getting it.
But a cool thing about Midwest Paracon, Greg and Dana Newkirk of Hellier are going to be there. I actually ran into some random guy at Walmart recently, and the first thing he asked me was if I seen Hellier. I don't really know why he would ask me that, but I was like, hell yeah, I've seen Hellier. But he was like, oh, it's so awesome. I'm like, Greg and Dana Newkirk will be here in Toledo. I'm going to see him. And he was like, me too. I'm so excited. And I was like, yeah. And then we went and made out in the bathroom.
I really hope his voice sounded just like that.
There
That whole
was
story is
pictures
100% true.
of that event.
Those are also
Those are actually linked on our website. If you just want to go to it and find the Gary Gay bathroom link, it's right on there.
Gary Gay.
They're contaminated.
They're contaminated.
My name's Gay without the R. Oh. Goddamn.
That makes so much sense now.
It does.
It does.
It does.
But
It
yeah,
absolutely
we'll
does.
cross that bridge
Hi,
later when we
Nikki,
get
I'm
to it.
not gay.
Like when we walk into a room and Gary's getting like bent over by a ghost, we're gonna know what his real intentions for starting this group with us is.
So, one thing we didn't,
Spooky-doot.
since our intro got all befuddled,
It's a.
how did we even meet?
How did we meet?
How did we meet?
Well,
It started with meet.
it started with me and Aaron.
Like 13 years ago.
It's like 13 or 14 years ago. She had moved to Toledo from New York for, you know the reason. For that special kind of love. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep, so I'm living here, and then I meet Sam through, we'll just call it a mutual friend at this point. And we've been friends ever since. And then
The Scooby-Doo adventure started.
we started our Scooby-Doo adventures, and then came along Gary, who met through another mutual friend. He
I don't know how
joined,
you worded that.
yeah.
I like no details, please.
So,
Do you want details? We can delve. We can delve in.
no, we're gonna just
We
leave
can.
that.
Okay.
I think they want
Anyway,
Nobody
so
else
we've
did.
all met through mutual friends, and that brought three of us together, and then we put this team together for Jeff. This is all for Jeff.
This is all for Jeff.
This,
is
this
all
one
for
here
Jeff.
is Jeff.
This one. Yep. This
Right
guy.
there.
Right
That's
there.
3 a.m. right here. We're
Yep.
the division.
Yeah.
3 a.m. is about
we're
the
just-
time he wakes up, if you guys were wondering where we got the name.
And it's also the time he goes right back to sleep.
Can confirm.
Sorry.
Can confirm.
It's like, huh? 3 a.m.
Be like, yep, 1964.
You know what they say when you wake up at 3 a.m.,
Something's watching you.
and then you go back to sleep at 3 a.m.? You know what they say? I know what Sam says. Son of a bitch!
I mean, a lot of people, I included, I usually ask where my kidneys are if I wake up at 3 a.m.
Really?
I always wake up at
I
3
always
a.m.
wake up in a
Yeah.
bathtub full of ice.
Speaking of waking up, weird. I've been waking up at like 08.
Mm.
Every hour, 08. Like
I'll have to
4:00.
start watching that.
It's really-
Synchronicity.
Exactly. I was thinking about that too. Like, what kind of synchronicity?
Well, look
is
right
that?
now. It's 6:08.
Oh, would you look at that?
Start talking about waking up on 08. Look at that.
Yeah.
Jeff's like, I can't relate. I don't
Things
wake
to-
up.
I don't wake up.
He doesn't wake up for anything.
Well, that's not Aaron. Hi, guys.
Oh, hi.
That's Erie Aaron over there pointing out the weird times.
Clearing out the weird times. Ooh.
Yeah.
Spooky-doot.
Spooky doo.
Spooky-doot. So, moving
So,
right along.
With this show, we don't really have a schedule. We don't have plans on when we're going to go live, how any of that's going to happen. The main reason that we even made this show and called it Aftermath is because we are going to do live podcasts after investigations. So once we go over our evidence and review everything, you can come here and we will talk about everything we found. We will play everything we found. We will show it off here before it goes on the website. And then if you want to go listen to it again or check it out for yourself, it will be on the website. That's the main plan for Aftermath. Now, that doesn't mean that's strictly what we're going to do. We're actually going to have other shows randomly. We might come on and talk about different kinds of equipment. We might pick a paranormal topic and come on here. We might even put out like a poll for you guys on the site, like what would you like us to talk about or base a show on. You know, we're going to include everybody on the page to be able to have a part in what we do. So if there's something you want to hear us talk about on the show, go ahead and post it on the page. Leave us a message, contact us. If there's a show you want us to check out or a documentary, we can check it out and then we can talk about it and review it. I mean, we can come on and do a bunch of stuff like that. We can talk about equipment, we can talk about
Yeah.
other people's experiences, and eventually we can even have people on here as guests. Like,
Exactly, yeah.
we can get you on Skype on here. And we'll,
What I would like to do is I would like to start, like we have the forum on there that you can go and you can fill out for us to come and investigate whatever place that you think is active, and we can come check it out. I would like to have some type of completely forgot what I was talking about.
Yeah, poop.
Oh, poop.
Yeah.
So you wanted to
Kind
do
of
something with the group?
Location or
Yeah.
address so we can do some research.
Yes.
Before
So
we walk into a place.
yeah, so if you guys do contact us, I apologize. I suffer from like memory stupidness. Like I just forget what I'm talking about sometimes, so bear with me. I would like you to leave in the forum maybe the name of your place, like when it was established, so we can do a little bit of research on it before we head out and contact you back. Yeah. Or he can.
He can do it.
He can do it. He can do it.
I gotta do something.
He's got his own intro. He can do it.
He does have his own intro. It's fantastic. Kudos, Gary. It's very,
Thank
very,
you.
very
It was
good.
the last thing I did.
Oh, it was very good. It was very good.
So we will we'll include people. Like, if you need us to come out and investigate a place, there is a form on our website that you can fill out. There are questions on there and everything, so that will come directly to us. We will review it. We will be back in contact with you to try to set that up. So if you have paranormal experiences in your home or business, if it's something that's frightening you, we also are concerned if there are kids involved, because those cases go to the top of the list for us.
Yes, they do.
Kids need to be protected first, and they're more susceptible to things like that. So just go on there and just contact us. You know, we're always available, even if it's something we can't personally help with. We do have connections to people who can help you. For instance, I personally will not do a demonic case, and I was on a team that knew that, and they had me go out to a case that was demonic, and I was furious.
So, no demonic cases.
No, what you're gonna say?
I mean, if you guys still need help, there's contacts that we can refer you to, so don't feel like you're lost. Definitely still reach out to us.
Yes.
You were gonna say Bobby Mackey's, right?
Yeah.
I'll go to Bobby Mackey's.
Okay. Because I feel like that's a
I'm gonna
one.
walk up in there and be like, "Hey, demons, it's me, your boy."
And it's going to be like, hey, what's up?
Gary's gonna walk up in there and turn around and walk right back out.
I
He's
feel
gonna
like
be
I feel like Collingwood definitely has something demonic though.
Oh, of course.
Well, it does. I mean, they have a ritual room hidden under the stairs. We didn't even mention that.
Oh, by the way,
I'm surprised you guys didn't
you
mention
see our little link there below. Click that. Check out some of the photos there.
yeah.
What I thought was really interesting is they have a pentagram on the floor, and they've tried every means to clean that up. And you'll actually see the stain of the chemicals where they tried to clean that up, and nothing will bring that up. So click on the link below. Definitely check that out. Check out some of our EVPs. We got a couple Class A's on there.
You know, some of the experiences we had might have been from the fact that these guys touched the ritual circle.
Think about it.
I didn't think about it.
We're still getting there. We're still new, you know?
Yeah, we don't
So-
really think about things before we do it. Like, we're going to get better at that. It's trial and error, definitely.
I thought about it. I was in there like, "What are you doing? Why are you touching
You
it?"
just let us
But yet
fly
he
right
did
into
it. He let us do it. Like, you let us do it.
We're all
It was
good.
already
We
too
didn't-
late.
we-
I'm like
we're
looking
good.
at the photographer. He's like, pose. I'm like, all right. Well, wait a minute. They're touching the pentagram. And Aaron's like, it's wax.
Like
It's
scraping
I'm like,
it up.
ritual
oh,
wax.
It is. I'm just gonna
I probably
it.
still got
It's
some under my
ritual
nails
wax.
there.
Probably. But,
Doesn't explain my horrific nightmares the following night.
Maybe.
Couldn't have anything to do with it.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
yeah. Nightmares are a big thing when it comes to stuff like that.
So I guess we can go into.
Our home office?
Yeah, we're thinking of getting an office. It's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
We're not
We're still.
We'll
we're
keep you
still,
posted.
on that yet.
Yeah, we're still in the.
The location of that office is going to be an investigation in its own.
We'll just leave it at that.
Just leave it at that.
Use your little spooky imagination.
Yeah, if we do end up getting the office, we're trying to get. Expect a lot more content from us because that place is fucking haunted.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say about Bobby Mackey's?
Bobby Mackey's.
We should go.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing a private investigation at Bobby
So if you
Mackey's.
go and you look at our Bobby Mackey's actual pictures on our Facebook, we've got quite a bit, and it wasn't actually a full-on investigation that me and Jeff did there. Unfortunately, Aaron and Gary could not attend. We went there just to check out the bar, like see how it was. Then we actually saw a flyer to where they do 45-minute investigations in the basement for like $10. So we're like, hey, why not? We'll just do it. So in the 45 minutes that we were down there in the basement, and this tour guy was just talking and talking and talking and talking, like, we caught so much stuff. And if I would have actually known I would have been in the basement, I would have brought more equipment, maybe set up a recorder or something. But we did catch a full body apparition. What's that guy's name?
Oh yeah, Chris Walsh. If you're out there,
Yeah, Chris
Full-
Walsh. Go
full
check
body
it out because it's a
apparitions.
full body. It's a
we
full
know
body
you only-
apparition.
You only do full bodies.
We get that you only do full bodies, and we're cool with it. But sometimes you're not gonna get all that. Sometimes it happens after the
You
fact.
might get full bodied.
Full body.
Full bodied attacked.
But there is a pretty interesting photo. Jeff actually captured it. And that was one of the only places that Jeff was actually affected at. He did not feel good after he actually got sick when we went back to the hotel.
I had a monster headache after we
Yes.
left there for a good while.
Yeah, he did not feel good. So go check it out. Tell us what you think about the picture. If you need help finding it, just let us know and we can point you in the right direction. But it's pretty self-explanatory when you see it. I think you're going to know what you're looking at, or at least know you see something that's not supposed to be there. So just let us know. Comment on the picture, let us know.
And this isn't going to be our permanent podcast location. Right now, this is just what we're doing. I'm going to be moving soon, so we may do it where I move. If we do get this office space, we'll probably broadcast from there. Also, quality is going to increase. I have stuff coming right now to make the power of this computer, which I resurrected from the dead after 2 years just for this. Ironically, from dreams that told me how to fix it.
I'm gonna address a problem right now. I got a text message from my sister, and she says that she cannot find the website.
She can't find the website.
She can't find I can't find the web page.
Uh-oh.
That might be a problem. We might need to look into that.
Might be a problem.
Let me double check, Jen.
We're going to look right now.
Gonna
so when you
see.
go to the website that's listed right below, you can't find it.
Like the website that's on the picture?
Like,
Let's
is
give it a try,
is it an
guys.
actual clickable link that you put on the?
No, it's not clickable.
Oh, so you just have to search it.
Yeah, if you search it, it's the first thing that pops up.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
I can send you a link in actually to
Yeah,
you.
the website is up. I'm on
Okay.
it right now.
okay.
She
So-
said she found it. We're good.
Oh, we're good? We're good. All right. Welcome to the
Make
website.
sure you check out some of our bios because they're pretty good.
Yeah. Make sure you check out the bios.
Check out
They're
the bios.
pretty
I think that
good.
was the last thing I did on that website. Actually, the website did go down earlier today because
it?
I found out to be put into Google searches, you have to be a protected website with an HTTPS instead of just an HTTP. And I had to buy a certificate to do that. Luckily, it was free because it came with our package.
I like how another beer just appears. Like when I'm done, it just won't.
But I ended up getting
It
the thing,
manifested.
and I activated it, and it made the website go bye-bye. I was freaking out for a minute. I was like, no, we're going to launch today, and I killed the website. And a half hour
Everybody's
later, it was
gonna be
back.
pissed.
And then I get here, and nothing fucking works. There was extra stuff I was going to do for this show. The quality of the show is just going to keep increasing. We're going to have more power.
Promise.
We're going to have better cameras. We're going to hopefully have more cameras because this sucked. Like, this was all set up and ready to go. I put a week of work into it. Everything was working fine. And I get here, and it's like, you guys can have
Oh,
one
works though
camera.
sometimes.
Just one. And I felt like Mom took the cookies away.
Mom took the cookies away.
Cookies away. So I have this like little thing with all these buttons, and I can't do anything with it.
So, what else do we need to go over? We need to talk about What else are we announcing? Are we announcing the big
What
one?
are we announcing? What are we announcing?
What are we announcing?
Yeah, that would be the big one.
Oh, is it the big
That was the
one?
big one.
You know,
That
I
was the
heard
big
a little bit of talk about there being a little big one. What do you guys?
one. A little bit.
A little big one.
Is that Jeff's nickname?
Oh, no. No.
I don't want to know.
No.
Don't continue.
Don't continue. Shut up. So that was just it was releasing. Sorry.
Releasing all that steam from sitting on this for months.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Like
we've
we've literally been working on this. Do you know we've been working on this guy since November 2nd? November 2nd. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
We haven't talked about it. We haven't told anybody. Although, one guy did see our website before we launched it because at my work, my internet doesn't work. And I was trying to load up the Facebook. He couldn't find it. And I was like, fuck, man, just fucking go to this. So I gave him the website. Well, he came in to work yesterday. And he was like, hey, man, I saved your website. I was like, oh, cool. He was like, did you make that? I was like, yeah. He was like, it's freaking awesome, dude. It felt like it was like you guys were like releasing a movie or something.
Oh, we are.
And we are. That's our next big announcement. We are making a Kung Fu ghost movie. It's about an ancient Chinese master trained in the art of Kung Fu that was killed suddenly before his time. He enters the other side and has to fight demons so he can return. It takes place in Wuhan.
And every actor, through no fault of our own, just happens to be white.
Yeah, it's very whitewashed. I don't
Jenny
know.
says hi.
I don't know any Chinese people, so we're making a white kung fu movie like David Carradine.
And for some reason, there's nothing wrong with that.
We should make that movie now. That'd be fantastic. I like that idea.
Yeah, he's got.
We have a lot of ideas
Fight
for a
demons
lot
to
of different
return
things
the
that we want to
other
put
side.
up on our YouTube channel. Like,
And the title of the movie is Kung Wu.
It's the best title ever.
so.
We're gonna have Ric Flair as a special guest on that show. He's gonna come out and be like, "Woo!" and the ghost is gonna be like, "Woo!" They're just gonna have a woo off.
It's a
Oh, we
boo
need-
woo.
Then
A
we're gonna have
woo-woo.
James Randi come out, and he's just gonna keep repeatedly calling everything woo woo. That's a bunch of woo woo.
I wish more people were watching this, but it's okay.
Where's my well, there is a replay. you
There
know.
is a replay.
There's a replay if you
There's
guys
a
will see.
replay.
So enough with the jokes.
Okay.
Enough with the side story. We are sidestepping this way too much.
Way too much.
So the big announcement that we have coming up. Are we doing another drum roll for this?
Are we doing another
Let's do
drum
it,
roll?
guys.
We are going to.
Fort
Fort
Mifflin,
Mifflin.
Yes, we
Philadelphia.
are. That is going to happen July 27th. We will be there doing a longer investigation than we've ever done because it's a big one.
My beard got stuck in the filter. Did you hear it?
No,
It was
I
like doing.
So yeah, it's how long is the actual investigation?
Investigations from like 5 p.m. till I believe 10 a.m. the next day.
Very nice. So this is a very, very long, big investigation. No pun intended. That's what she said.
Is what she said.
But we're very excited about it.
It is considered, from what I understand, to be the second most haunted place in America.
And do we have some history on this place?
We do.
We
but
do,
we're not gonna share
but
it
we're
right
not
now.
going to share that right now.
Oh.
We're going to do another show closer to the date since it's
Okay.
so far away in July.
We'll probably
Okay.
do a
We'll
couple
come on and do
here
another
there.
show before that. We'll talk about Mifflin. I've actually been to Mifflin and did a show there. I met Shannon Sylvia from Ghost Hunters International there. In fact, I met a lot of people there. We'll go into all those stories in that show. We'll talk about some of the experiences I personally had. We're even thinking of doing like a hype build-up throughout that week. I might do a couple small, personal, by myself broadcasts throughout the week, talking about the experiences I had in Fort Mifflin before we actually do our live show and go over the history and talk about what we're going to do there. But Fort Mifflin is not the only thing we're doing in Philadelphia.
Oh, is it not?
It's not. I just found this out moments ago. Newsflash.
Newsflash. Where else are we gonna go?
Well, there was this place. I don't know if you've heard of it,
Maybe.
but these white dudes fought these white dudes.
Ooh, sounds interesting.
And
Keep
they were
going.
like Confederates and shit.
Ooh, that sounds a little bit familiar.
And they were like pew pew pew. And pow pow, and there were cannons. They were like, pow, and dudes were like, my fucking leg. We're going to Gettysburg.
Woo! Yes, we are.
And then we're gonna go pew pew pew.
And I actually have seen something at Gettysburg, so we'll get into that at the next show. So definitely something very interesting. Never saw something quite so real life, so exciting to talk about with our next live.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Gettysburg, we don't have that reserved as like an actual investigation. We're just gonna fucking go.
Yeah.
We're just going.
I mean, but that doesn't really say much because we actually have very good luck when we're together. It seems like the energies that we all have kind of mesh very well.
Yeah, I mean.
We walked up and we went to Eloise Asylum, which is in Michigan.
Westland, Michigan.
Yes, it is. And we were just going to go investigate the grounds because it was some place that me and Jeff had gone before. And we just wanted to go investigate it again because we did a little bit more research and found out that it was a little bit more active than we thought it was. And so we were going to go on Halloween, but it was kind of weird. What do you like?
The weather was horrible. So we ended up going, I think it was November 1st, which I think was All Saints Day.
Yeah, I think it was.
Strangely enough.
Yeah. So we pull in and we get bombarded by a security officer. And he says, "What are you guys doing here? Are you guys part of the investigation?"
Pick up that can you left on the ground.
That's a different story for a different day. We're not going to talk about it.
It was not our can.
It was not our can.
It wasn't our can.
But we told him that we were a paranormal group from Toledo and that we had traveled all this way just to check out the grounds. We didn't know there was an investigation going on, so he promptly called the owner, the manager of the place, and he said, "There's a paranormal group here. They're called Division 3 AM. They drove all the way from Toledo to check out the grounds. They'd like to meet you." And so we're just like bullshitting, like talking as we're walking up to the building. This guy comes out and he shakes our hand, and Erin, she's a very good talker. She says, "Yeah, we're a paranormal group from Toledo, Division 3 AM. We've been doing this for a long time."
Ironically, we were not Division 3 AM yet.
We weren't, but it was something we just spitballed.
We just kind of made it up. And,
Yeah.
and now here we are.
I
I
know.
think it was a name we had kicked around on the drive up there.
Yeah.
Actually, we kicked it around in the cemetery the night that the ghost fart transfer happened.
The ghost fart transfer. That's
I wasn't part of that either.
You were not.
Yeah,
But the
you
guy
wasn't there.
comes down and he's talking to us and he's like, "Oh, well, we have a investigation going on." It was like a guided tour investigation, but they were able to like branch off and go and do whatever they wanted to do, but they still had a semi-guided tour. So he's like, "Yeah, you guys just want to come on up? Just come on up." So he let us in and we didn't have to pay for it. So I think that bodes well for our luck, guys.
$65 that these other groups paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got him for
And we
free.
got it for free.
So
'cause it
huge
was the
shout
last
out
one
to
of the
John
year.
of Eloise. That was awesome
Yeah,
of you.
that was awesome.
We look forward to going back.
I'm still wearing the gear. You
Yeah.
know, as a sign of respect since he let us in. I
Yeah.
did buy a shirt,
I
a
did buy a
hoodie,
hoodie.
2 hats, some
Yes.
stickers, and a magnet.
We plan on eventually setting up
And
another
another
private
cool
one for that
thing,
place.
since he did help us out, he is renovating the place and turning it into the first that I know of half hotel, half paranormal investigation building. So
Yes.
paranormal investigators will be able to go there, stay the night, rent a room, and investigate the asylum at the same time.
And from
And I
what he
think
was telling us,
like
some of the rooms
1920s.
that they're creating for you to actually stay in were rooms that actual patients were in. So it gives you that whole unique experience there. And I know they're working on renovating coming this spring. So check it out.
And one of the videos that will be added to the website once I get a chance to do it came from Eloise while we were live streaming. A door slammed in my face.
Mm-hmm.
And we have that on video.
Mr. Jeans almost got caught in
Yeah,
the
Mr.
crossfire.
Josh Jeans. Now, when it comes to Division 3 AM, I will put out there that we won't always be the only 4 on the cases. We will have guest investigators from time to time. And you might eventually meet Josh Jeans, but you probably won't meet him very often.
But Jeansy will be there.
You won't
He
forget
will
them.
be,
I can
and
promise
he
you
will
that.
be
Promise.
wearing jeans.
He will probably be wearing his signature jeans with the pockets in the back.
And you will hear his life story
And
5
10 times.
other than Gettysburg, what else is on our plan there?
Well, other than Gettysburg.
Other than
There's something other than Gettysburg?
Other
We're
than
doing Fort
Gettysburg?
Mifflin,
You want
Gettysburg
to
and
In
somewhere
the
else.
way.
I think we need one more.
I think we need one more. What do you think? What do you think we need to go?
I'm thinking Silent Hill.
Oh man!
Shit,
If you've never played Silent Hill, the video game, you need to check it out.
Because it's based on a real location.
It really is, and it's a very tragic location. And
now
we've always wanted to go.
I think actually since we all first met, we've been talking about going to this place for
Yes, we
almost
have.
10 years now.
Yes, we have.
And now we're finally going to do it. And if people out there have seen the Silent Hill movies, you might be a little confused. Because the movie's based Silent Hill in West Virginia.
That's not where it's at.
That's not where it's at.
Where is it at?
The real Centralia. Silent Hill. It's in Centralia. Well, I fucked up.
was
It's in
so
Centralia. We were
good.
almost there.
So Centralia, Pennsylvania. We'll
It's
be
in
also
Centralia.
visiting this summer.
It is an actual town that was evacuated. I don't know all the details. We're going to need a historian here to find all that.
Are we gonna play my intro again, or do I just go into it this time?
Wait,
Oh, you-
do you
you have
do you have
Centralia?
some stuff?
No, but I don't have dates or anything. No, but I have a general gist of what happened there.
Well,
Oh,
I guess
intro
I guess that calls
time.
for.
Grab yourself a pillow and a nice warm drink. It's time to
Get a
get
nice cold
cozy
drink, so
and listen
grab
up. It's history time with Jeff.
I'm never gonna get enough of that intro. So Centralia, Pennsylvania, is a big mining town, specifically coal. And what happened was the coal mine caught on fire, and they couldn't put it out. So to this day, that fire still burns. So the view you get watching Silent Hill, all the fog, the smoke, that's exactly what Centralia looks like. A lot of dilapidated buildings and things falling apart and just smoke everywhere because these coal fires have burned for years with no sign of stopping. So it's a really surreal kind of place. And if you've ever seen pictures from Centralia, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's wild looking. I didn't do the research on any of the dates for when the fire started. I know it's been burning for quite a while.
He was sleeping.
I might have been sleeping. I want to say a good 30 years at least the fires have been burning. And like I said, there's the coal reserves that are in the mines in Centralia are so expansive that
it makes beer appear.
There's no sign of it stopping anytime soon, and the cost to try to actually put the fires out and flood the entire mine is not worth it. So they've just evacuated the entire area.
And from what I know,
Still go there.
you can still go there, but they technically don't want you to.
Yeah,
They do
the law enforcement officers of the area do not really want you there. It's not safe, but there is no ban on the place, so we're gonna go.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
There's a nurse amongst us, so in case
That's right.
anything happens,
Anything happens, we got a nurse. We're protected.
we're pretty good.
that's what I thought until I broke my ankle.
But did you die?
But did you die? And did you listen to a bunch of drunk people telling another drunk man?
Pretty
what to
sure
do?
you went to the hospital I work at for care. So, I mean,
And
just
they didn't
saying.
find shit. They were like, "It's not broken."
your ankle was so swollen at that point, you're not gonna see it.
Do you see swelling in an X-ray?
It can cloud
Oh, okay.
broken bones.
Okay.
This is not the place
Oh.
for argument, guys.
This is not an argument.
We're coming
We need an
together.
intermission for when like they start to bicker. We can just like.
See, in 10 years, we have not bickered or argued or disagreed about anything until this past week.
You know,
When trying to launch this
that's
website,
true.
we were like, "Fuck you, no, fuck you." Except me, I'm just over there like, "Come on, guys, I'm just talking," and they were just like, "Rawr." And I learned a lesson a long time ago. You can't win an argument with one woman, let alone two. So I just backed the fuck out.
But how did it work out? How did it work out?
Bump
Boom!
it.
Yeah! Make it rain!
It worked out fine because I did all this work.
But to be fair, you would have had to do all this work anyways,
Yeah, but
regardless of
Yeah, I
whether
would've
you got
had
your
more
way or
time.
not.
So, what are your thoughts on launching our Facebook page? Like, we got like
It's already
800
launched.
But we
I'm just
800
glad it's over.
850 fucking followers in how many days? That is awesome.
yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we, wanna
We
thank
should
you
have a
guys
lot
for
more
that.
views,
That's-
guys. So
I know.
That's the other thing
I think all the views are
we
going to
wanted
come
to do.
after.
I want to
it's-
thank you
it's
guys
up.
for liking our page and coming to check us out.
Yeah,
We
thanks,
appreciate
everybody.
it.
Yes, we do.
You-
Thank you very much.
You all have surprised us greatly because originally, in my mind, this show was just going to be us talking to people we know and people we know watching it eventually. And
But
then
I
all of a
do want to thank the
sudden,
family,
bam.
and I want to thank Robin for watching because my mom's not watching. You understand?
I don't
She's not
think
watching
I don't
anymore
think my mom's
Oh.
watching either
She was
because
at
she
my
would have
mom's
said
house. She
something.
was at my sister's house and then she went home.
It's okay.
So a
So-
huge thanks to everybody who tuned in on Sunday and watched us talk about this and that. And
Bearing
we'll
with
be-
us with all this shoddy stuff we have going on. It's gonna get
Technical
better.
Yeah, it's a Frankenstein's monster right now. We're all learning. This is all new. I just got this equipment like 2 days ago, and I've never used anything like this before. So I had to learn everything and
got
learn every
spooky.
error and fix every error. And then I get it all fixed, and I get here, and the whole fucking thing's an error.
I think that has a lot to do with me, though. You're welcome.
No, it was that broken microphone.
Oh, I mean, I could just
So I
say
gotta go get a new microphone. We're
my
missing
little
a
spooky.
microphone.
spooky
Well,
attack.
So we'll keep you posted.
Well, we're not missing
Um,
one. We just drove across the street to Best Buy and got another microphone. Which, by the way, Best Buy, if you're watching, we're returning that shit after the show. It was the best buy we ever had.
You
Thanks for the
got-
rental.
Spooky Duke.
So we got 2 weeks. You guys got 2 weeks. We're gonna pick a name for Jeff.
Yep.
Go ahead and comment below, and we will draw from a hat. Maybe we'll do it with our next live.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it on our next live. So if you want to help us name Jeff, we gonna name Jeff by drawing Jeff's name out of a hat.
Oh, that guy. And if you are interested in maybe like coming on an investigation with us, maybe we can set up something on a Facebook page or our website where we can actually put out.
No, I actually had an idea after I saw the lady say she wanted to join.
Okay.
What if we kind of do like Taps did? They just branch out their entire team, and we have different branches in different cities and states. So it's not us, but we assign them like, oh, you're the director or the leader of Division 3
We could do that in the future, yeah.
West Virginia sect.
Yeah, we could do that in the future. I'm talking
So-
about like
so-
around like
yeah, this
locally.
is down the line. This is
Yeah.
something we haven't really talked about yet, because at the end of it, people are still going to be representing us.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be sure that if we're going to give somebody else use of our name, which is a registered business at this time, if we're going to give someone else the use of our name, we want to make sure that it's going to be used properly. So we actually have to discuss all that and go over it. But it is an idea right now. So if you are interested in being a part of Division 3 AM, that may be a thing for you in the future. You might
if you're
not actually like be with us and meet us, but we might meet you someday if we're in town.
listen,
We might meet you.
I'll be honest, there could be a very real possibility of you meeting us eventually, because we eventually want to see a lot of these places and travel to these places. So,
Yes.
I mean, obviously, if we're there, we're not going to tell you, no, you can't come along, even though you represent our branch here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that could be a very real thing in the future.
You just got to take into consideration, like when you do meet us, we're very vulgar people.
Oh.
You probably already learned it
Just rough around
in
the
just
edges.
this
We're
stream
very
alone.
nice people. Though.
We're very nice, but we're very rough around the edges. Yes, it's very nice.
Yeah,
we
we
get
are
that.
very
So,
foul. Actually,
so
who do you think is the foulest and most vulgar out of all of us?
Sam.
I would agree.
Unanimous decision
That's
here.
a unanimous decision.
what?
She's
Hands
just like,
down.
Sam is
Fuck you
hands
and
down
fuck
the most vulgar
everybody.
of us all.
Fuck this and fuck that and fuck this and fuck you and fuck that.
you know, when it comes,
Did we say this wasn't for children?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
this
not for
is not for
children.
children.
That,
So-
Probably
that
should-
disclaimer was in the beginning.
That
All
was
right,
in the
well, it's in the
beginning.
beginning.
Just for
And
anybody
if
that's
you-
tuning in now.
If you are a child watching, don't tell your mom
Don't
and
tell
dad
your
where
mom
we
and
are.
dad. As
We,
if so, I'll find where you live.
we will deny that you ever watch this.
Yeah.
And also, we told you it's not for kids.
So if you guys do want to come out an investigation with us, maybe we'll put more pressure on Gary to make a spot in the website to where you guys can fill out something and we can maybe like interview you or go from there.
Yeah,
Or-
you can't just show up. We gotta
Yeah,
we gotta
gotta-
interview you.
Or send us a message and we'll set it up. And
Yeah, because if you talk too much and you're going to contaminate our evidence, we don't want that shit.
Yeah, yeah. And also, if your experiences with paranormal investigating only comes from television, I will tell you right now, it lasts longer than 30 minutes.
It really does.
And I say that from experience because I have hired someone before who was in the middle of an investigation and went, "How long is this gonna be?" And I was like, "Well, we still got probably about 6 more hours."
Yeah.
And he was like, "But on TV, it's only 30 minutes." And I was like, "Get the fuck out."
The reality
need
of
to
investigating
leave.
is it's hours, and then hours of review.
And it's usually boring. I mean,
Yeah, it's not.
It's not like TV where you're gonna watch and something's gonna happen and Zach Bagans is gonna get possessed by going to the bathroom at a 7-Eleven.
I never believed.
That's only happened in like 6 episodes. It's fine.
It's
I
like,
never believed in water until I came face to face.
He's like, "I entered this 7-Eleven and got this large Slurpee. Now, while I was waiting for Aaron to meet me outside in the car, I decided to use the bathroom. As I entered the bathroom, a demon entered my body. Nothing was ever the same again. I stole 6 Coronas and sucked 5 dicks on my way through the parking lot.
Life changing.
Life changing.
These are my dick adventures."
And it just totally takes a fucked up turn. Just like a turn that you didn't even think it was going to.
Is this bottle cap from this Corona an old 200-year-old man who died in this parking lot trying to tell me that he is being tormented and wants to cross over? I believe it's gotta be.
I'll put this disclaimer out there just in case we end up on YouTube and Zach Bagans ever actually sees this. All of us have watched your show, just so you know, and we
Yes.
all have followed it and appreciate what you do.
Yeah,
But
no
you-
disrespect.
We
We're
will
just
still
fun.
make
But-
fun of the hell out of you because you're hilarious.
You are a ridiculous man. Like, the floor doesn't creak. It creaks in old houses. Like, we love you, but quit being ridiculous. And let up on Aaron, because he's a good guy.
I know, I am.
He's a good guy. It's like, you know what I'm going to do right now? You know what I'm going to do? That light just came on in there, and it's probably possessed by a demon. You know what I'm going
He's
to do?
always
You know what
like-
I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do?
Send it in.
I'm going to lock him in there, and I'm going to lock the doors and put padlocks on the door, and I'm just going to go sit in the comfy-ass fucking RV and drink a goddamn beer, because fuck Aaron.
I mean,
Fuck Aaron.
come on.
I
dude.
mean,
you locked him in a
Aaron.
place. He got so scared he jumped out the window.
He did. He did. But, like he said, in all honesty, we do respect what you guys do, and you
paved the way.
you paved the way. You really did.
So thank you, and maybe we'll meet each other someday, and we'll give you shit then too.
Yep.
And if there is an evil spirit in this room that would like to communicate with us right now, please throw a chair at Aaron.
Why are they always rude to Aaron's? I don't understand this.
Yeah, Aaron, ghosts don't like her, apparently.
No, we went to the
Seems to be
Hoyt
what
Library, and
Are we gonna-
apparently I
can you
got
say it?
skull fucked.
Yeah,
or
she said it.
so they say.
said it.
Spooky dicked in my eye. Within a few minutes, my eye, felt like no, we don't need to do that.
We don't need that camera on
She
there.
don't want that
I just
camera
felt
on.
like there was a huge scratch in my eye, and my eye puffed up, and it was watering, and it just was the one eye. So I had to
So-
go find a
Yeah.
little reclusive place, and
She had
Calm
to
down.
She had to tend to it, but we're pretty sure she got spooky dick.
She got spooky
So-
dick. She got skull fucked. Ocular
She
penetration happened
That's a real
in
thing.
Saginaw, Michigan.
haunted
In a li-
Saginaw, man.
In a library of all places.
I
like-
really want to reach out to Shippy and see if he's ever been
Yeah.
skull fucked. You know?
You know, actually.
He's gonna be like, "Bitch, Saginaw, I haven't."
Saginaw, dog, Saginaw.
That's also not the first time that Aaron's been the one attacked. When we were
It's
at-
because Aaron.
when
Let me
we
tell
were
you a
at
little something about
Mansfield-
Aaron. Let me give you a little background on
They
her.
always hate me.
For some reason, she thinks for some reason they do not like her. But let me give you a little insight on why they don't. This bitch. We went to Mansfield. She proceeded to go into the cell where the man lit himself on fire and started singing the song about the man on fire. She
Okay, I instigate a little bit.
she pokes the bear
pokes
right
the
off the
bear.
bat. She will poke it and she doesn't care. And then I know she's doing it because she wants to get a rise out of him. She always tends to get attacked afterwards. Like she doesn't. That's just your persona.
Don't
That's
we
just
have
what you do.
EVPs from there of her getting
Yeah.
cussed out? By
Yeah.
her?
We have an
They always cuss at me.
Yeah, we
Yes.
do.
Yes, they do.
Wait till we go to Mifflin, because
Oh, it's gonna be
one
fun.
of the
Yeah.
spirits there does not like blonde women.
I'll
This
wear
is
a
the
wig.
time where we're gonna pull a
Aaron's
Zach
gonna dye
Bagans
her.
and we're gonna lock Aaron in a place.
So, see what I'm talking about? If your name's Aaron, please watch out.
don't
It's not
join,
good. It's not good.
don't join.
We'll be
our
outside the
group.
door like, if you're in there locked in there with Aaron, smack her in the mouth.
Like this AA round.
You just hear a crack in there, and Aaron's like, let me out! Let me smack me in the mouth!
I'd help you out, Aaron, but I'm normally the one getting locked in places.
You're
so.
gonna be sleeping. You can't
He
help
will.
me.
He'll be
It's a good
sleeping
spot
on
to
the
get a
old
nap
wooden
when you're locked
cots in there.
somewhere no one's watching.
You know, the only person in this group I can trust is the canine. All right, at least I got somebody looking out for me.
He's sleeping. What are you talking about?
Right
He's sleeping too.
Hey,
but
if
I
I'm
don't
in
know,
if
shit.
I'm in distress, I bet your ass that dog will be safe with me. So
Actually,
The only two women on the face of the planet, if you do come on an investigation with us, I'm going to let you know this right now, that if we do have the canine with us, there's two women on the face of the planet that you cannot fuck with when this dog is around. And one is me and one is Aaron. He will fucking destroy
Yup.
you.
He tried
And
to
Gary
bite
can
me.
atone to this because we were all hanging out at my house. We were downstairs. We were playing video games. And he doesn't normally come downstairs. Rasputin doesn't. So me and Aaron went down and Gary came down. And Rasputin had followed me and Aaron down. And he was laying on the carpet. And all Gary did was step over a cable that was laying on the ground. And my dog attacked him. Because he thought that he was going to do something that he shouldn't be doing. And he bit him on his little ankle.
Yep, I was like, oh shit.
He
I don't like
apologized.
PlayStation anymore.
So what do? You just bribed him with meatballs and dog toys.
Yeah, we've been friends ever since. He barks before I come in the door, but once I come in, he's good.
He's good.
He's like, that guy gave me meatballs.
But that probably won't work for you, just so you know.
Start sniffing my pockets.
He's like, hey, bitch, you got
You
that
got some
meatball
of the
in your
meatball.
pocket?
Got any more of that shit?
Give me some of that meatball.
Oh, what voice did it? You got any more of that shit in your pocket?
No. He's like, hey, yo, dog, what's up? Give me some of that meatball, homie.
Meatball.
Meatball.
So we've talked about ghosts, we've talked about meatballs, we've talked about getting skull fucked, ghost sticked. We've talked about a lot of stuff tonight.
So we have a few more minutes.
We do have some EVPs from Collingwood. We could play some of those.
Can we cue them up? Can we play them out?
We can play some of those.
Just play them out.
I don't know how loud they're gonna be. So, a preface to this EVP. Now, I'm gonna say I got this recorder. Like, I know a lot of people out there are looking for the the DR60 Panasonic recorder, because they think it's the holy grail of EVP recorders. And in my experience, don't waste your fucking money, because I have an ICD B7, which is considered the third best in the holy grail of EVP recorders, and I kind of fucking hate it. And the reason I hate it is because they're so old. They don't record a lot of time, for one. There is no way to transfer anything to your computer, so you have to plug it in through the headphone jack, and copying that audio over that way loses quality. So stuff I hear coming out of the recorder speaker itself sounds completely different once I transfer it to a computer. So something I may hear on the recorder, I hear something completely different when I transfer it. And because they're so old, and the technology was still new at that time, they're unshielded. So there is a anesthetic. It is loud. It is difficult. Like, some of these EVPs, I threw so many away. Even though there was something in there, they were just so loud with static. There was no point in putting it out there and blowing someone's ears out trying to hear an EVP.
Well, should we play the Eloise ones then?
Well, we're going to play some Collingwood ones. I mean, I saved a few. Okay. Not all of them are from the ICD. But a couple of the best ones were. So, and a preface to that.
Don't tell them what it says, though. Let them see.
Yeah, we're not going to say what it said. We'll just tell you what we were doing.
What were we doing?
So while we were reading the Bible and talking about how great Jesus was, Jesus,
You need Jesus.
we need Jesus.
Not
Also,
you.
another new big announcement that we have not revealed yet: Jesus is joining our team.
Jesus, I think I might need them.
We're
I'm going back
actually
to
going
Collingwood.
to have a Holy Ghost on our team. And I'm going to
Nice.
crash my car on the way home after that. Anyway, here's an EVP. This is as we enter the building. And as soon as we enter, we capture something. You'll hear nobody talking at first. You will hear a phrase. And then you will hear Aaron and our photographer talk right after. So, if you didn't hear that, we're going to play that one more time. I don't really know how loud it is because our volumes in our headsets are different than what's playing out of the computer. In fact, now it just sounds completely loud. One more time. And I'm just gonna turn it up a little bit more in case that was too low for everybody. We'll play it one last time. So that's one of the EVPs we captured at the place where we experienced the stuff with the nun.
That one's really clear.
Yes, that one's super clear.
Alright, we'll play this one. This one was as we were entering the hidden ritual room
One of my
under the
favorites.
stairs.
This is where like all the ghost hunters go first.
And that's our photographer you hear saying, this is where all the ghost hunters go first. What you're looking for is right before he talks.
This is where like all the ghost hunters go first.
Definitely not one of our voices. Go ahead and listen to that one more time.
One more time.
This is where like all the ghost hunters go first.
Now, I can't really tell if that would be a residual or if it would be an intelligent, because what she's saying leads me to believe she's correcting a child. She's telling that child to, do we say it?
Yeah, we can say it now.
Sit down.
Or maybe she wanted us to sit down and stay a while.
That's what I mean.
Sit
So
down and
is
have a
it
chat.
intelligent or is it residual? She could be residually telling a child to sit down, or she could be telling us to sit down because we're moving around too much.
She definitely sounds like an older woman.
Yes,
for
she
sure.
definitely sounds older.
And the one you hear before that, as we enter the building, was a man telling us to get out of here. We have a few more from there. I'm not going to play all of them. You can check it out on our
Is
website.
everybody commenting? Is everybody able to hear it just fine?
Is everybody able to hear it just fine?
Out of our...
Have our
Three
three
viewers?
listeners? Just want to make sure it's coming across okay. Josh!
Could you hear the
Answer
EVP?
me.
Can you hear the EVP?
Can you hear the EVP?
This is unprofessional. I was told not to do this, but can you hear it?
Can you hear it?
Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
Well, if
Can
not,
you
people will hear it on playback, so.
No, we
And
just,
they're
it's just a
available on the
karaoke.
website, so.
Yeah, you can go to the website and listen to it
Can
if you can't
confirm.
hear it.
He says, can confirm.
Can
Thank you.
confirm. All right. Let's play the child giggling in the hallway. So as we're walking through the hallway,
Prefaced it now.
yeah, we prefaced it because there's not a word.
There's not a word. That's so creepy.
And that's as we're walking through the hallway. One more time. My favorite one is...
What?
Hey,
Oh.
Jordan. That's not my favorite one.
That one was a good one, though.
I like it when we catch EVPs that talk directly to us. Like, it's just like, oh, damn, what's up?
This one is like right after we were talking about getting an office somewhere. And I personally like this one because the first time I was there, I did capture an EVP of a girl with an English accent talking to another girl with an English accent. And this being my second time in the building, I got another girl with an English accent that sounds like the same one I captured before. So this is, you're going to hear like a knock and like 2 little beeps, and you'll hear her talk right after. It's kind of staticky, really quick.
Good talking.
And one more time right after the 2 little beeps, you should hear her talk.
You can hear her talk, yeah.
So now that you've heard it, if you were not able to differentiate with your own ears what she was saying, she asked, "Are you really staying here?" As we were talking about staying there.
Yeah, I couldn't make it out.
Oh, you can't hear that?
I could hear I could hear her talking, and I could hear a female voice, but I can't really make out what she's saying.
It's like it's the accent. It's like, "Oh, are you really staying here?"
Okay.
You want to hear it again, just in case?
Yeah.
One more time. Now that you know, you gotta listen for that thick accent. Like, "Are you really staying here?"
The thick of it. Yeah, I can hear it.
Now you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. Because I'm listening for the syllables of what she's saying, yeah. Yeah, so, well, that was our podcast, guys. That was like 2 hours of nothing. It just went right by, didn't it?
Yeah.
Not meaning nothing. We did tell you guys a lot about some stuff.
Yeah. So as you know now, you can go check out our website, division3am.com. You can find us on Instagram at instagram.com/division3am. That is run by Aaron. We have a YouTube. There's nothing on it yet, but there will be stuff on it soon. You'll be able to find replays of our podcast there. Our podcasts are also going to be available in audio-only format on the website. So if you do prefer to listen to podcasts in just audio because you don't have time to watch videos, we will have that available for you. So you can go to youtube.com/division3am. We also have the Facebook, which you already know because you're probably watching it from there right now. But just in case you're listening to this through audio or coming from our website, our Facebook is facebook.com/division3am. We have more things coming in the future. We are planning on a lot. You know, we're going to Mifflin. You know, we're going to the Hydro. We're debating on when we're going to go to Bobby Mackey's. We have a lot of stuff coming up. So stay tuned for all that. We have merchandise coming out eventually, so you will be able to get t-shirts and stuff on our website. That's a little bit further down the line, probably a few months away. And once we get stuff like YouTube and everything launched, we probably will launch a Patreon and start, you know, adding stuff in there, like maybe even letting you guys listen to our case files before we broadcast it on Aftermath. You get to hear them first and talk about them first.
And also, if you guys have any topics that you want us to talk about, any podcasts you want us to do, any evidence you want us to go over of yours to review, just contact us either through our Facebook or through Instagram or the website, and we'll get back to you as soon as we read it.
And stay tuned, because the next time you see us, this stuff will probably be set up a lot better.
So much better.
I mean, it wasn't that bad, honestly. It's set up pretty decently right now, but we had more plans than what you guys actually got to see and hear. It will be better next time, so thank you everybody for tuning in. And where is my bottle?
Your bottle's right here, sir.
Oh, well, there it is.
There it is.
There it is.
And cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Remember, it's 3 a.m. somewhere.
Yes, it is.
I tried to stay away from that house.
Yes, you tried.
I still see her. She knows nothing about it. He knew it.
Don't dig it up again, dear, please.
Why
Forget
didn't
it.
they go before it happened?
Please.
Why did she scream? Why did she cry?
We can shut it out of this house.
No, this isn't my house. There's no certain place on this earth.
I should have burned that place down.
No. We'll search the ashes and find her screaming. Now you listen to me.
I'm listening.
You went into the woods.
Well, why shouldn't I? They're
Well,
only...
I asked her not to.
We didn't find anything.
I don't care. Now you listen to me. If there's anything you want, I'll get it for you. But there's one thing you've got to do for me.